Okay, so I'm gonna record my Sigma gameplay from Junkertown earlier today. We are in plat because gaming. um, so yeah, so we're just gonna watch it, and I'll talk about my decision making and stuff like that. And yeah, so here we go. So our comp, we have our comp, we have Widow, McCree, which isn't great. We also have Hog Sigma. The guy playing Hog's kind of a crack Hog player, so that's why I win Sigma. They're running double shield, and they have Hanzo, McCree. Mercy's in though, so their tanks are kind of going to get boomed. At least that was the thought process. Pretty much my job here at the beginning is just break shields as much as I can. Maybe try to get a rock on the backline and get someone low enough to die. My shield doesn't really last considering all the spam damage they have. There I can almost get the Mercy and not quite. But basically just shooting the tanks, trying to break shields, looking for rocks when they're available when the shields are down. Trying not to die. I was able to build Flux pretty fast. Just go for the Reinhardt because he seems to be blocking a lot of the issues. Like he's like the main issues in my team. Can't get to the back line because the Ryan's just sitting there. Unfortunately, to get the res off, I was using my sitting grasp, but I probably should have been able to rock the Mercy out of the thing. This fight's pretty much lost, so we're getting boomed by ultimates. I'm just gonna try and back up and not die. Maybe try to get this McCree here. Kind of just waiting for my team to regroup. Can't quite get him, unfortunately. Go for this next engage. My game plan's still kind of the same. We got a nice pick on the Mercy, so it pretty much guarantees us a fight win. Just trying to get rid of the shields, pressuring their tanks so they have to use resources. We force trans, which is pretty nice. Good Shatter, I didn't get Flux here. Yes. Barely missed my rock, but I don't think it would have mattered. So far, not looking so hot. But we do have Whole Hog and Onion, which aren't super great ults, but you know. But my game plan still remains the same. Deal with shields, look for rocks if they're available. Try to not take too much damage to where I need to be, pocketed the entire time. Here I'm just taking high ground to try and get some shots on the back line. I shouldn't let my shield break there, but it's okay. The team's kind of split. Yeah, it's kind of weird playing Sigma as like a main tank here. So I have a Hog. I have another Flux. I'm just gonna go for the tanks here because they're weak and I don't want to die to it. And I think that'll give us what we need for our team to actually, move forward. I call here to go get the Zen, but we don't really have any speed or range to get him, so he kind of just gets out. Yeah, it's not worth chasing him. I'll probably die if I chase. Here, just trying to spam where I most likely think the enemies are. Someone called Hanzo was bottom right, so I was just predicting him to walk out there. Probably shouldn't use my rock, should have just shot, but it's not a big deal. Just spamming, trying to keep them from coming down. This poor guy gets full hog in the stratosphere. I think I rock him when he comes down. Yeah. We lost our Ana, which is kind of bad, but we still have a big advantage here with their Ryan and Hanzo being dead. McCree apparently drops on the point and kills my Hanzo, so it's alright. As long as we get enough pick, the picks here, we can have a little bit of free card hook. There I'm just spamming, making them back up, giving us as much space as possible. I'm doing my best to play like a main tank, trying not to let my shield break too often, and using my kinetic grasp pretty early. But as you can see, I didn't let my shield break there, but as you can see I'm just spamming shields, because I feel like our team, they need me to break the shields, otherwise nothing's going to happen. There are two picks here, they use trans, a little late. I should have used my rock on that Rhine. I didn't expect the Sigma to ult there, but really not that impactful. Get the McCree because he's low. Just spam the tanks here. They only have Zen heals, there's not much they can do. Eat some of the Zen damage. Trying to make it easier. I flex here just to guarantee a fight win. I've been charging it so fast that it's draining the tanks. I felt like it was like not that consequential. I thought he was gonna peek again, that's why it sucked. It'd be nice to be able to get some of these staggers. Luckily McCree walks in. I think we get the Mercy as well. Can't remember. Yeah, Mercy just flew in for some reason. Just using my kinetic grasp early, so I get that extra health to where I don't need to be pocketed. Because since I'm playing as like the main tank as Sigma, I have to manage my resources well to where I have to have at least something available. And one of those resources is my HP. See here I gained HP from my grasp, so I'm able to keep moving forward even though I don't have a shield or my rock or my grasp. Nice sleep from our Ana there. This guy should die. Probably didn't have to use my rock, I should have waited until my Hawk hooked him and then use it if he tried to grasp. But inconsequential. Oh no. So here, just spamming at the Reinhardt, hitting the Zen if I can. I know Han's on the right, I call him out. They use trans here, we get shattered. Try to rock the Ryan to keep him from doing damage in his shatter. This shields just to protect my Ana pretty much. I'm pretty sure we lost this fight, so I'm just backing out. Not much I can do. Trying not to die, using my cooldowns to not die. I had a lag spike here, I remember, as you can see I just teleported, yeah. We're just in reset phase. These guys are pushed so far off, I'm gonna flux to initiate. Just so we can take this space pretty freely. And we also dragon. Get their Hanzo. Unfortunately they get the res off. Now this next play, I see the Hanzo on the right. I don't think anyone else is gonna go for him. And I feel like he's pretty free, so I go after him. I chased him a little too far and I let him get the health back because I missed those 2 parts there. We still get him in the end, it didn't really matter. But I probably should just let my DPS go after him. I just wanted to confirm the kill. Here I had a nice rock on the McCree, but I don't think he dies. Yeah. I know Zen is on the right. I called it out. I was hoping that my Hawk would change. Here I call Zarya's alone, but the guys on the right are kind of more of an issue. Basically here I'm just trying to maximize damage. I'm like trying to pick a target that I think is like the most likely to die and trying to call them out and focus them. But since the fights are split, it's kind of weird. Here I'm fighting on this off angle just to avoid. I could have grasped the dragon there. I thought I was on cooldown, I don't know why. I remember when I was playing this thing. But we win this pretty handily. There's not much they can do. We just had ults and the picks. So yeah, basically like my game plan is just be like I'm trying to like put out the most damage that I can. Without having to be too much of a, like, I don't want to be a burden to my supports. Even though I'm a main tank, I'm trying to use my resources in a way to where I can be, like, self-sustaining. And I'm using my cooldowns to either, like, give myself, like, I'm using my grasp pretty much to just get as much HP as possible. Instead of, like, using it as, like, a last resort, I'm using it first, so I can have that extra HP as a resource for my fights. Most of what I'm doing is just spamming at the tanks, because, like, there's not much they can do. Sure, their Zen is getting trans a lot because they're keeping orb on the tanks, and I'm shooting them constantly. But I'm putting that pressure on them to where it makes it easier for my DPS to be able to... I'm enabling my DPS by creating space by pushing back their tanks, if that makes sense. So in defense, we have this a similar comp, except for we have Echo Soldier for DPS. I'm not a big fan of the comp we have, to be honest, and I'm pretty sure our Echo gets boomed right out the gate here. They're running Run Zarya this time with a Moira. They still have the Zen. Yeah, there goes my Echo, so we're already forced to back up pretty much. Just taking too much damage up there. I tried to get as much healing as I could from the grass, but it wasn't enough. Just trying to output as much damage as possible. I get their Moira, and we should get McCree here, but not quite. Just unlucky timing for a win. I had just shot 2 balls right before the McCree got pulled in, so I didn't have them again. Kind of unlucky. And we pretty much lose that fight because of that. Not the best first point, obviously. I was only able to charge. Well, I was able to charge 60% of my ult, which isn't bad. Here, I'm just sitting behind the Rhine. I waited out the bubble. Sorry, bubble, so I wasn't charging here. I'm playing up here just to be annoying, really. Because if they push me, my team is gonna move. Because like if the Rhine turns the other Rhine and gets hooked, like right there, and I can do a lot from up here. My shield is just in an annoying spot, so where if they shoot at it, they can be shot from other angles. There, I just let the Zarya beat me a bit because I didn't want to charge her bubble. Here, Zen's out here, we're just waiting up. I have flex for this next fight. I'm gonna go back high ground, I think. High ground is really important for pretty much, you know, all circumstances, but especially, you know, Sigma. He has that range that others don't have. I'm initiating with Flux again here because my Trace is up here with me. And I also, like, want to get a pick so we guarantee a fight win before their whole team. I dropped here just because I knew I wasn't going to be able to win that fight with both the Zarya supports there. Try to deal with this McCree as they back up because they're already down 1. They can't really engage. Ryan, for some reason, is still going in. He shatters. I'm able to kill him with the rock. Even if that didn't kill him, it would still have been nice, so you wouldn't have been able. There's no one else to follow up on the shatter. Here, I'm just forcing them back. I think I got a little overzealous there. I was hoping that I would get shot by the Hanzo. And maybe healed at least one time, but that was my bad if that bit. But their team they're still down some. They're in a position where they can't full push as 6. And so it's kind of, like, I obviously shouldn't have died, but it wasn't that bad. We give them a little bit of space, but not much. Here I come back high ground. I want to keep the high ground as much as I can. Just go for a random rock there, just in case I hit something nasty. I want to save my hog, but he's kind of owning because he's hogging. And we just kill his Ryan because there's nowhere he can go. I want to deal with these guys at the point. Unfortunately, missed the rock on Hanzo. He would have died there. Just clean it up. We won this fight pretty handily. Guy gets boomed. Go for the God Rock. Unfortunately missed, but it's alright. I want to get back to high ground again. I know they're going to be up there. Super important to hold this position. I'm gonna Flux again. Pretty much just using it as soon as I get it. Because there's no point in holding it for a perfect moment. If there's people grouped up and you think you can get value out of it, just use it. Especially because we had the window there, like there was just a lot we could do with that. Here my team's kind of get boomed. So I'm just gonna go for this Moira kill and die. We're at a severe ult disadvantage here. Unfortunately. But their comp just kind of gets boomed because I'm Sigma and they have Ryan Zarya. Like, they can't really walk at me. I do so much damage, and the threat of the hog hook is, like, so important. Like, they can't really do much. Oh, I remember what happens here. I'm like, oh, I'll go up top while my team contests. But, they get grabbed, and I end up getting sucked in the grab through the floor, so I can't get onto the point, and then I just die. I fed them, but, like, there was no way I would be able to escape. I'd have to go, you know, back up. If I stayed up top, I'd have to go walk through there, go down the stairs, jump out the window, and they would be able to catch me. So I might as well just die on the point, even though it doesn't really matter. So we're still... They used grab Hanzo Dragon there, which is good. Now I'm just putting some pressure on the Rhine shield, trying to do damage in, build my Flux as fast as I can. Try not to charge the Zarya too much, because if she's high charge, she can easily melt me and the rest of my team. Go for the God Rock there. Like, I mean, to be honest, I could have better rock usage. I'm kind of just throwing it out when I should be saving it. But there's not a whole lot on their team that is like it's not important for me to be able to rock certain things. The only thing I can think of is maybe the Moira ult, but like I don't have to save it for like a Genji or a Tracer or like, you know, I don't have to use it to actually stun people. It's more of just a damaging tool because the stun isn't super important. They don't have characters that require me to stun them, you know, to die. I pushed up super far here. I think I'm dead, but luckily my team is here to save my ass. So it actually works out. Kind of baited him without even knowing. But to be honest, I shouldn't have been pushed up that far. Here we're just holding them and spawn to be assholes. Oh, gets a nasty hook. I saved him from the fan. This is where we gotta back up. We gotta pick. They can't push, especially without their main healer. Trying to shoot the bubble, wait till it's broken. And by broken, I mean, you know, wait till it's the cooldown is. We're Flux here just because they're all grouped together. I didn't realize the Zen was dodging it. I don't know if he meant to, but pretty big brain by him. Regardless, we got trans out without them actually gaining any space. So now we back up a bit. I'm playing here just to be annoying, really. Like, they have to go through me to get to the payload, and it's pretty much impossible for them to do so. I know my shield's not super useful here, so I'm not putting it up unless I pulled it back to let it charge just a bit. Here I should let it charge for a long time. I don't know if I do or not. Okay, yeah, I use Grasp instead. Pretty good. So now I have a full health shield. I think the Rhein's gonna shatter, so I'm trying to hold my shield. He dies. I should be focusing on the Sakri on the left, but I'm helping my Hog make sure he doesn't die. Kree gets boomed. We didn't really need to use Nano there. It's not a big deal though. When I deal with this Hanzo, don't let him leave, so I'm cutting off his escape on the stairs. And somehow he booms my Baptiste. It's trans again. I'm pretty sure I'm dead here. I'm just using grass to try and stay alive. I was hoping the Mega was there and wasn't. But luckily they're focusing my Hog instead of me. Leaving the... I want to kill the Zen. I want to leave the Rhine. I'm missing a lot of shots of the Zen, unfortunately. I missed the Rock as well. That was just pretty bad mechanics for me. I shouldn't have fluxed this guy. Well, I thought I fluxed the degree, but I didn't, thankfully, because I feel like he might have gotten value from there. Luckily my Rock still goes off there. Kind of saves me from the fan the hammer. Ryan's just fucking wailing on me, but luckily he gives up the chase. I think he could have killed me. My team's getting dragoned. They gotta slam off. I'm gonna do my best to just stall for as long as possible since my team's dead. The shield looks shitty, but it was actually pretty decent. I killed myself with the ball. But yeah. Gaming. Pretty much. I'm gonna pause it here for a moment.